We're having some issues with this printer.
Look at the poor print quality we got there.
It's like, I don't think it's the filament. I'm gonna try changing filament to see if that has anything to do with it. But I have had some good prints with this filament, and now they're intermittent. So I have replaced the nozzle and the nozzle tube 3 or 4 times in the last couple days with this printer. And I've even run lower temperature. I thought maybe my temperature was too high and I was getting heat creep into the neck or the tube. So I lowered the temperature. The fan seems to be running okay. I have a brand new ribbon cable ordered and a whole new extruder ordered just to help rectify the situation. I probably didn't need to buy all that, but I did. I've got a new hot end ordered as well. But we're going to try changing the filament on this. This printer has been very good for the last 2 years. It's just now started acting up, so I've put a lot of miles on this printer and it's held up well. On another note, I have had this printer even longer. I've had this printer for since 2020, so over 2 years, longer than I've had this printer. I've upgraded some things on this printer, like a dual gear extruder, which actually is the cheap one, but hey, I haven't had a problem. A lot of people will complain saying that it chews the gears up over time. Well, that's easily rectified with a little bit of Vaseline or some sort of light grease on this one gear right there. I have a Micro Swiss all metal hot end, and I actually have 5 of these enders, and 3 of them have the all metal hot end already installed. I installed them, and these are the Micro Swiss, but this thing prints like a beaut for the most part. Anyway, welcome to the next episode of 3D printing with Adult ADHD. We're going to have a series of these with these issues. This is getting annoying. Let me show you what else. This is a thing, it's warped, very poorly printed. It's got these ripples in the bottom, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what's causing this, other than either crappy filament or my hot end is not heating properly. The thermistor could be not, reading the proper temperature. I don't know. My thought is the fan isn't running at the proper speed, keeping it cool, and the fan's acting up, which could be one of 2 things. It could be the fan itself, or that ribbon cable has a bad connection on one of the lines. Anyway, we'll have some more for you shortly. Hey everybody, we made a little panel to go in the back of our lid on our XMAX printer, feeding the filament in through the top instead of at the bottom in the back. We are printing a benchy. This is a test run. We have done no more modifications to the extruder. I have ordered a brand new extruder as a backup. I am planning on rebuilding this. I'm going to see if this thing clogs with this filament. This is some Polymaker filament, which is good filament for the most part. We're going to see how this goes. So far so good. And we've also doing it at a lower temperature, lower than what I'm used to doing. I attempted to print that panel on the back, for the back, and of course it looks crusty. It looks like tiger stripes, or it looks like some varicose veins or something. So we're going to see what happens. We got the ender over here. I am printing a new extruder cover that I actually designed in Fusion 360 off of one I printed to replace that cover. But this one is made for the regular extruder, which is what that is. The one I printed was for the high temp extruder, which has a smaller fan on the front, so the clearance wouldn't work for the bigger fan on this one. So I've designed it in Fusion, and hopefully it'll work. Then I'll have a fresh new one. I may paint it a fancy color or slobber on it, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Filament was looking kind of sloppy, so we raised the temperature to 209 from 205. We're going to see how that does. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So we have done some test prints. We changed filaments. I also added this little upgrade, if I hadn't already mentioned it. But that was with the white filament, and I'm beginning to wonder if it's moisture. So then I changed filament, didn't do any other modifications to the printer, and I got this boat, which is better, but it's still crappy. But the flow on this one was set at 105% flow in the G-code file. So then I changed the flow. I thought, well, maybe that's just too much. It's just pushing out too hard. So I adjusted the flow to 100% and got this, and it's basically the same result, which is telling me one of two things, or three things. The nozzle is brand new. I replaced it with a brand new tube. The fan, to me, I think the fan is not cooling the throat tube, or cooling it like it's supposed to, and it's causing it to overheat. That's all I can think of. Anyway, if you guys have any answers, leave a comment or message me or something. I'd like to know. Hey, baby. Hey, little baby. Smile for the camera. Are you about to eat some foodses? Hey. Is it good? Is it delicious and nutritious? It's yummy. Yeah. Here we have an AirPod, Apple AirPod case with Suzuki logo that I designed in Fusion 360 from scratch. I measured my AirPod case, and we have the GSXR logo on the back side. I think it's pretty awesome. We'll see if it fits. We'll call you back. Print number 2, we didn't accommodate for the lid opening on the case, and the top would stay on right, so we adjusted the dimensions just a little bit, and we are printing another case. The QIDI XMAX printer, as you see, I'm having issues with printing benchies. This is the last one I printed, this green one here. The black one is one that I printed a long time ago that come out absolutely perfect, but the hull has these issues. So these are all different iterations of the boat. They're the same file. I've changed settings. That one was at 210 degrees, where these were right at 200 degrees. So I've dropped the temperature to 198, which is what I'm printing now. So we'll see how it does. Almost done. 98%. We will check fitment shortly. Got the boat at 198. Looks even worse. So I think the nozzle is worn out, which I have a replacement. We finished the new AirPod case. Yeah. I've got another boat printing. I've updated the firmware on the machine. Those are all my crappy models, especially that one. That's the one, the control we go by. This one is doing a lot better. Seems to be. So we'll see what the end result is in a little bit. Okay, here we have my print dry system. Drying filament. This is PLA. Stuff full of humidity, moisture. Tried doing it in the oven. I had to break this out of the garage because this was in the garage. And let me tell you, oven was too hot for PLA. You can do PETG in the oven and ABS in the oven. ABS, you really don't have to get the moisture out of it. PETG's the worst. Nylon's even worse. But I got a brand new roll of black. This is a brand called R3D. I'm gonna tell you it's garbage. R3D filament is garbage. The vacuum sealed bag in the box is not even vacuum sealed, or it's extremely old. So I hadn't even loaded that filament yet. So this is the filament I tried to dry out in the oven. It got a little wonky, but I got some of the moisture out. This is my fleet of benchies that's all sucky looking, except for the black one, which is beautiful. And I believe it's due to too much moisture in the filament. I jacked my temperature up a little bit to 209 on here. I want to know why I got a line in my screen. Oh, that's just a... Never mind. Oh well. Anyway. Here we're printing a little capsule box to put my AirPod cord in. Excuse my mess. Like I said, I'm not... It's looking okay, but it doesn't have to be there. We'll see how it turns out. Trying to get this thing tuned up so I can make some parts to sell on Etsy for different projects. Yeah. I've moved my dryer into here to dry this filament into the printer. It's 62%. Horrible, but it could be better. And it's just still moist. It was only in the oven for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah. Got this one going too. Yeah. I think I've got it narrowed down. It wasn't moisture, it was crappy filament. This is the latest boat, the latest benchy. It's very near perfect. There are a few flaws, but all I did was change the type of filament and brand. I've got, also have it in my dryer, my filament dryer, running along through the air into the back of the printer. Yeah. Trying to run this roll out, man, I'm printing tons of stuff off this one roll. I've got 13 or 14 more rolls of this stuff that I just bought off Marketplace. Some good filament, I gotta say. This Anycubic brand filament is really good. Yeah. The thing's starting to look pretty fresh. Yep. Got these stains on my bed. That stuff's hard to peel off. I can't get it off. So I've created a file called Bed Clean for this printer. Basically, it's going to make a 1/2 millimeter thick sheet of filament across the whole entire bed size. And then I'll just peel it off and it should pull all of that mess off.
Light up this property.
We got a nice little coat of filament across the whole thing. That's 63%. I dropped the temperature down a few degrees. This stuff seems to be doing a lot better. And we just had a layer shift.
Drop them off so we can pay
Oops.
earlier. You can see right now here in November.
It'll be okay.
Bring them down early because I was afraid it'd be 30 degrees out, but it's such a thing. And I like
Yeah.
just having those bright red doors down there. So
Had a belt slip, hit the belt.
you can paint them red and then we'll be back.
That's what ADHD does for you. Actually, we're probably going to cancel this pretty soon because I've got a full layer on here now. Well, it cleaned it up some, but not quite enough. So we're redoing it again, and we're going to let it finish so it'll cook it to the stuff. But it did remove some of the crud. I like how it made a sheet. That's pretty good. Yeah. I adjusted my Z offset.
You can absolutely see.
Well, I should have showed you. I printed this sheet to peel it off. It pulled more off the bed. It didn't get it all off the bed though. There's still a little bit left, but that's okay. It works. I've got a new idea later. Hairspray. I didn't hairspray the bed. Anyway, printing a benchy, 203 degrees. It's 60 millimeters a second, just to see. Got my fleet of benchies. The red ones and green ones suck. The black ones actually turned out very well. So my conclusion to the problem was the filament sucked. So stay away from Polymaker filaments. That stuff is trash. I'll show you an example. Polyterra. Yeah, this is Polyterra PLA. This orange wasn't bad, but I also only ran the orange in the ender. But the black, I've had terrible trouble out of the black. This red is the same brand. The green is the same brand. And it just, I mean, every single green boat, the hull of the ship looks like garbage. So stay away from Polymaker. They need to work on their formula or something. But this, what do you call it? R3D stuff. The white roll of white that I had was trash. It printed okay for a little bit, and then it just kind of got funky. This black's doing okay though, so we'll see how that works. And I have dehydrated that filament really well. Yeah. Well, this is probably going to conclude this video, and we'll come up with another one soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please. I just like having subscribers. Yeah. See y'all later. Bye. Like, share, comment. Call me names. I don't care. Bye.